For years, right, the story we've heard about Harry and Meghan has been this united front, them against the world. But what if I told you that according to insiders, a single, unscripted moment, just a few words, might have shattered that entire narrative? Let's get into what allegedly went down.
And this quote, wow, it comes straight from sources close to them. And it tells you everything, doesn't it? It points to this super carefully managed image, a story told with absolute precision, and a truth that was never, ever supposed to get out.
Okay, so to really get the impact here, we have to rewind a bit. We've got to remember the story we were all sold on, right? The one about Prince Harry being Meghan's ultimate protector, her shield.
And yeah, this really nails that narrative. He's the prince who left, the husband who protected, the guy who sacrificed literally everything, family, country, you name it. He was the shield against the storm. In every version of the story, he was this unbreakable force for her. That was the whole brand. But you know how it is with perfect facades? They're fragile. And this one, according to these sources, got a massive crack in it. It all happened during just one unfiltered moment at an event that was supposed to be their safe space.
So picture this. The setting is a private wellness summit out in California. It's all about men's mental health. A really controlled environment. Minimal press, not a lot of cameras. It's the absolute last place you'd expect a bombshell to go off. This was supposed to be a home game. And then someone asks this question. It's simple, almost philosophical. But witnesses there say everything about Harry changed in an instant. The smile just vanished. His shoulders tensed up, and after this really long, heavy pause, he answered.
And boom, there it is. The line that sources say just detonated everything. He quietly admitted he didn't recognize the man in the mirror anymore and then dropped this quote. And in that moment, everybody in that room, and let's be real, soon the entire internet, knew exactly who and what he was talking about. No question.
So what happens next? Well, it wasn't just your standard PR cleanup. No, insiders are describing it as an immediate, chaotic war of words, not just out in public, but even more dramatically behind closed doors. I mean, this paints a picture of crisis mode. The source describes pure chaos inside their Montecito home. We're talking urgent PR calls flying everywhere, demands to get the clip taken down. One source even paints this picture of Meghan pacing, absolutely furious, because for the very first time, she'd lost control of the story. So when Harry gets home, the conflict supposedly boils down to this really fundamental clash. She's accusing him of betrayal, right? Of basically handing their enemies a golden ticket. But here's the kicker. For the first time, he allegedly didn't back down. His response? I just told the truth. And according to the source, those 6 words just hung in the air. Dead silence. Of course, the damage control machine kicks into high gear almost immediately. You see sympathetic outlets pushing these stories that Harry was just fragile or exhausted, or that, his words were misunderstood. But the source claims it was a total bust. Why? Because the original clip was just too raw, too honest. It spoke for itself. You couldn't spin it. But here's where the story gets even more interesting. The fallout wasn't just about PR battles. The source is claiming that this moment triggered something much deeper, a really profound internal shift in Prince Harry himself, a quiet unraveling, you could say. Apparently, his friends started noticing a big change. He got really quiet, withdrawn. People saw him just wandering the grounds of their home alone at night, ignoring calls from their new Hollywood friends. And this part is key. He was supposedly reaching out to his old army buddies, people from his life before all of this. And then there's this alleged quote, which supposedly came out during a private gathering for veterans. No press, and importantly, no Meghan was there. Witnesses say Harry was super emotional, maybe even tearful, when he shared this. I mean, that is a seriously vulnerable admission, feeling completely and utterly lost. So you see what's happening here? It's a total flip of the script. For years, the story was that Harry was rescuing Meghan. But now, the source is claiming he's starting to see it completely differently. That in the process of building her story, their brand, his own identity was being slowly wiped away. And that realization, well, it has allegedly led to what could be the most dangerous thing of all for the whole Sussex brand. A final, unapproved story that Harry is dead set on telling, and this time on his own terms. So what is it?
a journalist with some serious royal connections, is reporting that Harry has been quietly working with a publisher on a secret project. And get this, it's not a joint thing with Meghan. It's not another memoir designed to grab royal headlines. It's a new, deeply personal book.
And this is exactly why it's being called so dangerous for their brand. People who've supposedly seen bits of it say it's shockingly honest, zero spin. It's all about his own loss of identity. And the biggest bombshell? It's a project Meghan did not sign off on. For the first time ever, he isn't telling their story. He's telling his.
And that really sums up just how high the stakes are. One Hollywood insider apparently put it very bluntly. If this version of Harry, the raw, unfiltered one, keeps talking, the illusion collapses. The brand shatters, the fairy tale just dissolves, and there might be no coming back from that.
So that leaves us with a huge question, right? When a fairy tale unravels like this, what's actually left? The story isn't about a prince saving a damsel in distress anymore. Maybe it's about a man trying to save himself. And what that means for their future. Well, that's the chapter that hasn't been written yet.